and he fell into it. And though he denied any wrongdoing, but right now, during the appeal, he admitted that he has breached FIFA's code of FIFA's ethics when his appeal was held. So right now, we are going to await how the judgment will pan out, because he has been reduced. Talking about Kwesi Nyantakyi, his life ban was reduced to 15 years, and the fine also from 500,000 to 100,000. But now that he has accepted, we are going to be looking at the story to see what will be the next step. This is one thing about denial. Once you deny that yes, you are innocent, and after investigations and they are not found out that you committed the offense, come on, that's the shame. Not to look to the person, but to the people that is representing. Well, Ahmad Ahmad, who was the CAF president, he has also retained hopes of running for the election, but he has been given a 5-year ban, but he's still appealing, and he hopes that he will be among those that will contest the CAF presidential election. Yes, we told you in the morning that Liverpool and Aston Villa, they are going to be playing, but due to the COVID-19 testing and all that, now they have told us that the match will go ahead. So Liverpool will take on Aston Villa's under 23 and under 18 side in the third round of the FA Cup. And in basketball, come on, Los Angeles Lakers, they are ready to meet the president-elect of the United States, Joe Biden, and this will be the first time since 2016. So under President Trump, none of them who won the NBA went to the White House. But now, come on, a new president is coming on board, and the LA Lakers are ready to pay Joe Biden a visit. Okay, these are many more what we have for you this evening on your Top Flight Sports Radio Show, Sports Fiesta, reaching you live on 92.7 KFM down here in Benin City. My name is Ewusa Agbekan, the Sports Maestro, and I've got Saliu Ibrahim, the Sports Ibrakadabra, with me this evening on the show. Ibrahim, good evening and welcome to the show. Well, let's begin from that of Kwesi Nyantakyi, who admitted wrongdoing during the FIFA ban appeal. In June 2018, that was when it all happened, when a journalist announced who filmed the process of with which he was filmed the whole thing when he was stacking the money and all that, when a journalist pretended to be a businessman, trying to invest in Ghanaian football. But at the end of the day, unknown to him that it was a setup. But now he has admitted after 2.5 years, since he denied any wrongdoing. So
he actually admitted it in April 2020, but it's just coming to light now. You know that earlier the lifetime ban was reduced to 15 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if he had not admitted, they would not have reduced it to that 15 years. So he appealed and eventually had to agree that he did some things wrong. I mean, this is what sometimes they say, this thing is visible to the blind. We could... How else was he going to deny it? It was there, we could see it clearly, except, of course, if he is going to somehow tell us that the money was actually fake money. It was, or maybe he had already reported to the police, so the police knew and they told him to play along. That would have been the only way to have put a doubt on the story that we were seeing playing before our eyes. He was shown live in his office, yes, stuffing $65,000 into a bag. The same thing happened here in Nigeria with a governor from Kano State, where we saw him live. We saw videos of him stuffing money into his dress. So it was so clear to everybody that, look, this thing happened. Except you told us, if they could somehow convince the world that the currency wasn't actually dollars, but we could clearly see it. And if they told us, Kwesi Nyantakyi knew what they were doing. He knew that these people were actually undercover reporters, and he had already reported the matter to the police, and they had told them, okay, play along so that we'll rope them in. This is clearly a case of blackmail if they now want to use that against you later. So when Anas did that, his documentary, it rubbed in many people in Africa, including, unfortunately, our own Salisu Yusuf, because he was offered money so that some players that were already in the national team could be selected for a tournament. And his case was even a bit better than that of Kwesi Ntachi, because he was saying that, look, these players, they can only make the team based on merit. If they are good enough, that's when they will be selected. So it's not assuring anybody that he's going to select them, but he should have ended it there. But by the time he now took money from the people who were fronting, who claimed to be fighting for the interest of two players that were already in your national team, and they were now leaving and they said, coach, have this. Although he claimed that they said the money wasn't for, the money was like a gift and all that. But look, you lose all credibility when you now accept that money, you know. If somebody comes to tell you, if I come to tell you about a person or about some things I want you to do, and I've talked so much about these guys, and I say, please, I want you to select them, and you've told me, look, I can't guarantee you that I'm going to select them, but what I can tell you is this: if they are good enough, they will make the team. Then as you are leaving, you now say, hold this one for transport, and I accept it. It means that I have lost all moral authority to complain or to now say, no, I selected the players based on merits. The moment I collected money from you, I have lost that authority. So Salisu Yusuf was guilty of that the moment he accepted money from that team. So it was the same investigation that rubbed in Kwesi Ntachi. I mean, clearly it was, we could see clearly that he accepted money. He was mainly the target. They just used some of these other guys. I think Nigeria went for a competition in Ghana then. That was when this whole thing played out, and that's why Salisu Yusuf was even part of this whole thing. So for Kwesi Ntachi, now that we have seen his own situation, and he was banned for 15 years. It was a life ban before, but it's now 15 years. But when it first happened, he denied all the allegations that it was just a setup and all that. People were out to tarnish his image and everything. Look, I am seriously baffled that in Africa especially, I know it has happened all over the world. It's not like it's only Africans that have been found guilty of corruption in football. It's been everywhere. Even Sepp Blatter himself, former president. Even till today, FIFA is still bringing criminal cases against Sepp Blatter. Michel Platini, the former president of UEFA, that was seen as the natural successor to Sepp Blatter. You know, current FIFA president Gianni Infantino himself has had some allegations leveled against him. So everybody somehow is kind of guilty one way or the other of corruption in football, most of the administrators. But we are particularly concerned about Africa, because it seems like this is the epicenter. Most of the times we tend to have all these corruption issues. So I am baffled that up till now, African football administrators, African coaches, African match officials, they are falling prey to these sting operations. I mean, you already know that you are being targeted. You already know that many of these things, you know, especially with these days of recording devices. Somebody, of course, we know that our phones can record. These days, you can even, somebody could hold a pen and it's recording you. Somebody could come to your office and he's not holding a phone, he's not holding a pen, but even the button on his shirt could be a recording device. There are microphones everywhere. I mean, are you going to search the person? You know, you should strip naked and then you start searching him to ensure that he's not holding any recording device. So the moment anybody starts telling you things about, you know, match fixing or giving one player, ensuring that one player makes your team, you should, alarm bells should ring. You should know that this could be a sting operation. But Africans unfortunately keep falling prey to this, and it has sadly cut short the promising career of so many African football administrators. Kwesi Ntachi, of course, and so many of them, Musa Bility, even the one woman that has done so well in football administration, Aisha Johansen of Sierra Leone, she has also had all these corruption allegations leveled against her. So for Ntachi, it is really, really disappointing. But as I say, I mean, the evidence was overwhelming. It's something that we saw. It was on video. You could see it. As I said, just the case as we had with Emma Sademo many years ago. And I was saying, when he started saying he wasn't guilty, FIFA knew what was happening. I'm like, look, the only way that he could prove that that whole thing wasn't real, or he knew exactly what was happening, is if somewhere before the end of the interview, if he has a clip, because he was saying they did not show the full clip. I'm like, except somewhere in the video, he now says, hey, you guys, you think, after agreeing, after saying everything, after saying pay directly into my account, because they asked him, should we pay it into the FA's account or directly into your account? He said directly into his own account. So I was telling my colleagues then that, except maybe somewhere in the recording, he now laughs at the journalists, those British journalists posing as the people who were going to offer him a bribe. He now laughs at them and said, you guys think I don't know what is going on? I know that you are undercover reporters, or I know that you are not who you
think you are
portraying yourself to be. I'm just playing along with you because I know that this is a setup. And then he laughs at them. Oh, fine. They will say, okay. But so long as that wasn't there, I mean, everything that was said, it was going to be very, very difficult for him to prove he is innocent. And eventually, we know what happened. He was banned for a couple of years. And then later, I think in 2017, he had another ban, which he had to undergo. So it's been really disappointing that African football administrators have they've been caught in all of this. So I hope that going forward they will realize it. And look, if you have credibility, you should not even allow yourself to be caught up in something like this. You don't need to know whether it is real. Because right now it seems like, okay, because of it's happening all the time, and it's happened to so many people. So you should be wary whenever anybody comes to you with a proposal to cheat the system. That should not be the case. You should naturally just don't want to. No, this is corruption. This is not going to favor Nigerian football. It's not going to favor Ghanaian football. How would giving $60,000 to Kwesi Ntachi favor Ghanaian football? It is his part. They are giving it to him as it's supposed to be his personal money. That's going to put it into his pocket. It's not using it to develop Ghanaian football. So it should not even be something that the president of a football federation in Africa should be entertaining. Those are the kind of things that African football administrators should be determined not to get caught up in. But even here in Nigeria, every time you hear of the different cases, corruption here and there, money has come in from FIFA, how did they share it and all of that. It's really, really appalling. We should be using all of these funds to properly develop football in Nigeria. And if we are able to do that in Nigeria and in Africa, if we are able to do that, with time, we should be able to at least compete favorably with what is going on in Europe. Look at South America, for instance. Yes, I know that everybody still goes to Europe. Europe is still the best when you are talking football, and also the best footballers from wherever they are in the world want to go to Europe. But South Americans, even if they can't make it in Europe, they will do well playing in their own continents. Many of them have even just, directly, the clubs, they deal with each other. The clubs in South America deal directly with the clubs that are in Europe. But here in Nigeria, it's not that smooth sailing, for you to just, from one club in Nigeria, you are going to a top club in Europe. Most of the times, they have to go through some of the lesser-known leagues in Eastern Europe, before you now start, okay, I can now cross, or you maybe go to Belgium before you want to. Of course, I'm not saying, of course, there have been situations where it had worked clearly. It has worked beautifully. You move from a club in Nigeria straight to a top European side in England or in Spain or wherever. It has happened in the past, but it isn't like you have in South America, the way the system is structured in South America. So Africa has got to also get to that level, and we will not be able to do that unless we are able to a large extent stand corruption out of our football. As I said, it's not peculiar to Africa. It seems to be everywhere, but we as Africans are bothered that we are having it every time. It seems to be more rampant here in Africa, and some of our brightest stars, some of those that we thought would have been able to go very far. Look at Ahmed, the president of FIFA, president of CAF, someone who was able to come and he shook down the status quo. Issa Hayatou has been there for almost 30 years, and Ahmed came from Madagascar. He is not from Nigeria, he's not from Ghana. Madagascar, yeah, he had the support of Nigeria, Ghana, and some of these other countries. But the fact that a Malagasy that we did not even really hear much about in football came and was able to defeat Issa Hayatou, who is a principality when it comes to football administration, not just in Africa, but in the world. I mean, that should be something that we should be proud of. But look at Ahmed today. He can't even contest the CAF presidency, except he's somehow able to claim, which I doubt seriously, because the election is coming up in March. Look at Ahmed now almost going into oblivion in terms of football administration. So Africans, we've got to really, change our mentality so that we can succeed.
Well, Ahmad, like I said before, is Stephen Fu that will be able to contest the re-election, but from what you are saying, I doubt if that will happen, except his appeal goes through. But then let's just keep fingers.
I doubt so. Before your appeal can even be heard in the Court of Arbitration for Sport, they must first make the full disclosure known to you. Why were you banned in the first place? And from what we know, it takes at least 60 days for that to be done. And it's not going to, it doesn't have that luxury. By when is it now? It's inside this week that they are going to submit. CAF is going to submit the final list of those that that are going to compete in the March, because the election is going to be March 12. March 12. That's when they are going to have the election. So it doesn't even have the time. They've not even given him before, except they are going to accelerate hearing for him or somehow. But I doubt it very much. I don't think who is it that they will suddenly now change the system for, because these things take time. So he doesn't have the time to have all of the full disclosure made to him before he can now. It is only after he has had everything, they've given him all the reasons why he was suspended. That's where he can now go to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. There are not even guarantees that, okay, the moment you get the full disclosure, you go to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, then you will be cleared. No, we are just saying that this thing takes a process, and the process alone is 60 days, and the 60 days will not have elapsed by the time CAF does its submission. By the time the body that will be in charge will now look at those who have been cleared to contest the election. So I doubt very much if Ahmad can make that list.
Okay, still talking about African football. Well, we told you in the morning that we're expecting the draws for the CAF Confederation Cup. I can tell you right now, we've got them, and it's on Twitter. Just got a tweet, and Nigerians representatives saying by International, we thought maybe it could face Rivers United, maybe if they do go very far in the tournament in the final. But right now, it's going to be Enyimba versus Rivers United or Bloemfontein Celtics. That is what we are going to be having in the in the next round following today's draw. Then FC Platinum of Zimbabwe will face AS Jaraf of Senegal. Raja will take on US Monas Strain of Tunisia. Then Gomaya of Kenya will take on Nafsa Stars of Zambia. Ashanti Kotoko of Ghana will face AS Setien of of Algeria. AS Sonidep of Niger will take on Cotton Sport FC of Cameroon, while Stade Malien of Mali will face Algeria's JS Kabylie. Then Joanne Galazi of Botswana will take on Orlando Pirates of South Africa. These are just some of them, and the first leg will be on the 14th of February, and the second leg will be a week later, 21st of February.
I'm surprised that there is no country protection in this stage. You know, I was thinking maybe they would not even allow two teams from the same country meeting in this stage. Then maybe even the group stages, because the way they do it in Europe. You remember in the morning somebody, I think it was Coach Jesus, was complaining about how archaic the structure is, that they have to still look at that. But I am a bit taken aback that if Rivers United qualify, I believe they will. It's going to be Rivers United versus Mahimba, two Nigerian sides meeting this early. So it means definitely one will be eliminated. But the good thing is that you have at least one Nigerian team guaranteed to be in the group stages. It's disappointing, but I was hoping that there will be some protection for the countries, because when you look at the structure, the way they do it elsewhere, they will not have met at this stage. Even maybe the group stages, they will have tried to protect them, and then later it is after they are done with all of those stages that it is now open. In the Champions League and the Confederation, in the Europa League, it's from the quarterfinals that the
two countries, two clubs from the same countries
can start meeting.
So out of two, one have to make way. That is if Rivers United are able to beat Bloemfontein Celtic in their second leg and progress. So whoever qualify will face Eyimba. So let's wait for the second leg first and know who they will be facing. Aston Villa, let's move over to Europe now and talk about Aston Villa. Despite the fact that coronavirus has really affected the club's first team, because their training ground was shut down. Now the under-23s and under-28s, under-18s rather, will now face Liverpool. They told us that match will go ahead because in all, 14 Villa staff, including 10 players, have tested positive. So it has really affected Aston Villa. But let's see if they'll be able to, beat Liverpool with the make shift, or rather the reject team that we'll be seeing later in the evening. Yes, we told you guys about the NBA and what has been happening since Donald Trump was elected. None of the NBA champions have visited. So talking about basketball right now, because we could still talk about football before we start picking your calls. But this the reigning champions, Los Angeles Lakers, they have said that they hope to become the first NBA champions to visit the White House since 2016. When President-elect Joe Biden takes office. And President Trump rescinded invitations to NBA champions winning teams in recent years, but U.S. media claimed the Lakers will be keen to visit Biden. And the Cleveland Cavaliers were the last team to meet the sitting president, when they visited Barack Obama after their 2016 win. But the Golden State Warriors, who won it in 2017 and 2018, and the Toronto Raptors, who were champions in 2019, did not go to see Trump. So the Lakers want to be. I understand how the reason. I
recall when Golden State Warriors won it, and then Steph Curry said he wasn't going. He will not visit the White House, even if they get an invitation, because it's tradition. You usually go to see him. And I recall how it became a personal thing for Donald Trump, and he said because Steph Curry is saying that it should be a great honor, and Steph Curry is not coming, then he's not going to invite the Golden State Warriors. He's cancelled everything. And I recall LeBron James got involved and even called the president of the United States a bomb on Twitter that Steph already said he's not going, so he doesn't understand why this bomb keeps talking about it and why he keeps saying he's not going to extend an invitation to the Golden State Warriors. And other sports teams, including even the national teams, the United States women's national team, remember, Megan Rapinoe and some other, they got into altercations with the president of the United States, Donald Trump, and they refused going there to pay him a visit. And that's because of how toxic Trump could be. We saw how he got involved many times unnecessarily in sports with Colin Kaepernick. Some of the things he said about people taking the knee, he basically berated them and said so many things. But I think sports stars will be one of the most relieved that he's leaving. Yeah. So now they can go and visit. And I recall then when he was having this issue, LeBron James was asked about going to the White House and said no, that he will not go. But he immediately said, I would gladly, was asked if he would want to sit down with Donald Trump to discuss anything. He said no. He now said, but I will gladly sit down with Barack though. You know, talking about Barack Obama. And I recall when he won it, when the first time he visited the White House, when he was at with the I think it was Miami Heat then when they won it and they were invited to the White House. You could see how excited LeBron James was when he was talking to Barack Obama. You know, Barack Obama is somebody that is so involved in everything, every aspect of American life. So he knew the players by name. He could call them and joke with them and everything. As big a star as LeBron James was, you could see how excited he was, like a little kid. Yeah. He even said, "I made it, Mom." He was telling his mom live on air that, yeah, I made it. It's not Look at me. I am in the White House. I am having a nice time with the President of the United States of America and everything. So, but of course, when Trump came, he never wanted anything to do with it. So you can expect, of course, he's met Joe Biden before. When they went to the White House, Joe Biden was Vice President of Barack Obama. And of course, we know how well Joe Biden is liked by the African American community. So I am sure that many sportsmen and women will be relieved that now they can visit the White House and meet with the president who they are proud to want to come there and have a nice time with. So it will be interesting to see. It's going to be on the 20th that Joe Biden will be inaugurated. So I believe that the LA Lakers will want to be the first team, one of the first teams to go and visit the President of the United States of America.
Well, I have the best to them because on that day they will be playing against the Washington Wizards. So let's see how that will pan out. And there's nothing that is permanent in life, and 4 years is gone and the table has turned. Okay, let's go on this break. Once we return, we'll be looking at the fixtures for the NPFA. I did not give that out in the morning. Yes, I'll give that out before I throw the phone lines open. So you guys get your phones recharged because very soon to be your turn to contribute on the show this evening. But before then, let's go on this break.
Entrepreneurs, business owners, and organizations. KUFM 92.7 has an impressive and constantly expanding number of followers online. You can now advertise your goods and services on KUFM's social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Take advantage of our online presence and reach out to our growing audience at very affordable rates. Call 0703 109 4612 or 0806 530 5657 or 0802 232 7191 or visit our marketing office, top floor, Enterprise Foundation Building, number 62, Ihama Road, GRA, Benin City. KUFM, your business growth partner.
All right, welcome back. And in case you're just joining us, it's Sports Fiesta reaching you live on 92.7 KUFM down here in Benin City. All right, we told you what went down earlier today when it comes to the draws for the first round of the CAF Confederation Cup, but unexpectedly, two Nigerian sides will be clashing. That is, if Rivers United are able to qualify on aggregate over Bloemfontein Celtics, then they will have to face the Aba Elephants, talking about Enyimba International. Yes, we told you what to expect later in the evening, the FA Cup, as Liverpool's and the Aston Villa's game.
They also did a draw for the CAF Champions League.
Okay.
And that one went to the group stage. We got in Group A, for instance, Al Ahly, AS Vita, Simba, and El Merreikh. These are the teams that were put in Group A. Group B has TP Mazembe, Mamelodi Sundowns, El Hilal, and Belo Zidad. That's for Group B. Group C comprises Wydad Casablanca, Royal AC, Atletico Petroleos, and Kaizer Chiefs of South Africa. And finally, what group now? Group D. So trying to get Group D. So Group D just now. Just hold on. Okay, no, those are the ones I have. We'll get Group D and give it to you before we leave.
Okay, before we throw the phone lines open, we talked about Mohamed Ali in the morning, how people saw him as
finally, Group D, Esperance Tunis, Zamalek, MC Olga, and Tanguet FC of Senegal.
That's the group of dates. Apart from that, Tanguet, SC Olga, Esperance, and the other team, Zamalek. Wow, North African teams. Come on, that's the group of dates. Well, fantastic what they've done. The draws have been made, and everyone will know who to meet when it comes to the CAF Champions League group stages. Okay, now talking about boxing, we talked in the morning about how good Muhammad Ali was and how fantastic he was fighting 2-3 fights, under 6 months. Not like these days when you have boxers fighting maybe once in a year, sometimes twice in a year, and the protection are all there. But in the days of Muhammad Ali, come on, it wasn't really easy for him, and he calls himself the greatest where he was living. Somebody who will be boxing, I'll be telling you how good he is, laughing at you, and at the same time taking you to the cleaner. So really
yeah, and after Muhammad Ali, many people have asked, was he really the greatest and all of that? And one boxer that he gets consistently compared to is, in terms of greatness, is Mike Tyson. And maybe it's because of the excitement that Mike Tyson brought to the sport, because nobody had more spectacular knockouts than Mike Tyson, not even Muhammad Ali. In fact, when Tyson was at the peak of his powers, he and Muhammad Ali were several times invited to talk shows, and Muhammad will always say, "I'm scared of this one." And he was asked several times who will win. He will say this, Mike Tyson will win, but Tyson usually says Muhammad Ali will win, and that tells you the mutual respect they had for each other. And Ali will say something like he would be, dancing around and maybe for a couple of rounds, and then Tyson will catch him with one punch, and that will be all. He would just go down and everything. So Madrid don't come yesterday, was called in, and we're having that talk, and I told him, look, we cannot rewrite history. Things have already happened, and Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali were not in the same era. Yeah, kind of, because we had George Foreman, who returned to boxing, although he never got to fight against Mike Tyson. Larry Holmes, who beat Muhammad Ali, fought against Mike Tyson, and Tyson absolutely obliterated him. Muhammad Ali was even at ringside that day. He shook hands with both Tyson and Larry Holmes before that fight. But I think when you are asking people, even if there is an argument about who is the greatest, I think you should speak to the persons themselves. So Mike Tyson himself, till today, at least Mike Tyson is still alive. He's still even active in boxing. Just a couple of weeks back, fought against Roy Jones Jr. Mike Tyson himself said nobody beats Ali. And remember, we are talking about Muhammad Ali in his prime. We are talking about Mike Tyson in his prime. That's how you rate play. Because, of course, if it is the Muhammad Ali of 1980-81, the one who fought against Larry Holmes and Trevor Babbitt, even me, I'm sure I will beat Muhammad Ali because he was already having Parkinson, and people have said, look, it was a travesty that all those who were involved, who allowed him to fight those last two fights, should be arrested. They should be in jail.
Yeah, because we are aware that
the doctor said, no way, this guy was sick, he was already having that Parkinson, but they still allowed him to fight. And Angelo Dundee, I'm sure it is to his eternal shame that he was the trainer and he allowed Ali to fight that. But of course, he said later, look, this is Ali. This is a guy that will do the impossible. Nobody thought that he could beat George Foreman. He did. Nobody thought he was going to survive the thriller in Manila. He did. Nobody thought that after losing to Leon Spinks, he was going to come back and win. But he did. So because of that, they just felt, okay, maybe this guy is untouchable and all that. But at the age of 38, he was absolutely destroyed by Larry Holmes. So let us, I promised Madrid.com yesterday that we'll get the clip of Mike Tyson himself talking about Muhammad Ali. So let's listen to what he said, the question that he was asked. 20-year-old Muhammad Ali versus a 20-year-old Mike Tyson, because that's what we're now looking at, both boxers in their peak. And listen to what Mike Tyson said about Muhammad Ali. Mike Tyson, apart from being a ferocious boxer, one of the best heavyweights in the world, in history, he's a student of boxing. So he's not just somebody who just came in and was just, he studied fighters. He was a student. He scientifically studied boxing. So when he talks, he's an authority. And of course, it is he himself that is involved in this now. So let us hear Mike Tyson talk about the comparison between him and Muhammad Ali. Who wins, prime Muhammad Ali versus prime Mike Tyson?
You at 20, Muhammad Ali at 20. Who wins this fight?
There's no man like him. There just isn't. Everything that we have, he supersedes us, and even in our arrogance and our ego. He's fast, but he really doesn't have any great quality that you can really see besides his agility. Not afraid to let punches fly. But other than that, he never threw a body punch in his life. He doesn't have a good defense. His speed was his defense. He moves and stuff. Say from a boxing perspective, Ali is an animal. He looks more like a model than a fighter, but what he is, he's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex with a pretty face. He's just mean and evil, and he'll take you in deep waters and drown you. He's very special. The best in the world.
So is that it? Yeah? Do you beat him? Or?
No, nobody beats Ali.
Nobody beats Ali. Wow, okay.
It's not muscle memory, it's concentration. It's him doing it. Pop, 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 pop. Never stopping, and he's dead tired. And, I said, I can't beat that, man. Hell no. Hell no, no way.
Wow, no way. Nobody beats Ali.
That he was Muhammad Ali was more like a model than a fighter.
Yeah.
But he was a Tyrannosaurus Rex. This, if you watch Jurassic Park, the series, the whole thing about Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, and all of that, you will see that animal there, and you know what we're talking about. This is a prehistoric animal that was a predator, apex predator. So that's how Mike Tyson described Muhammad Ali. He might look pretty and everything, but the guy is a natural born killer. And there's nothing, I mean, when you look at him, you will like, he is not the hardest puncher.
Yeah, and he dances around. It makes you feel as if nothing is happening, but you are going down.
that's why I said Mike Tyson was a student of boxing, a scientific a person when it comes to boxing. He studied the sports. And he said something which many people do not realize until Tyson, when you listen to him. He said Muhammad Ali hardly threw a body punch in his life. And that's true. Go and watch his fights. Go and watch Muhammad Ali's fight. Go watch every other boxer. If when they try to punch you in your face and you are covering up, they go for your body. Muhammad Ali hardly... go watch his fight even today. Go and see. He does not throw body punches. It's your face that is targeting. You know, and so, and he says, in another clip, Mike Tyson said that you are not going to knock him out, and which is true. Nobody actually knocked out Muhammad Ali, apart from that travesty against Larry Holmes, when after the 10th round, his underdog stopped the fight. He was never knocked out. Knocked down, yes, but he will get up and fight. So you know that you are going 15 rounds. Mike Tyson, all his time was 12 rounds that they fought. His last fight was 8 rounds, you know. So he said this guy will take you to deep waters and drown you. And that's just the truth. And as I said, Muhammad Ali did not have the best years of his career, which was when he was at his peak. He was around 25, 26 at that time. That they stripped him of his heavyweight title and didn't allow him fight for 3.5 years until 1971 before he came back and fought against Joe Frazier. And so most of the fights that he later had in his life, you could say he was fighting when he was even past his prime. Yet he beat Joe Frazier, he beat Ken Norton, he beat George Foreman, he beat everybody that was put in front of him.
That is why it's called
he is really the greatest.
All right, guys, time for you to be part of the show. Hit us right now on 070-6263-9275, 090-3939-4427, and 081-2178-9154. Remember, the SMS line is 080-7400-9076. Hello.
Hello, it's Jose Mourinho.
Josie, you're welcome.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Greetings on JR.
Yes, smart. 1 minute.
Yes, 1 minute, okay. Okay, I have to let go of some things I wanted to say. Let me say the main thing about Tottenham. Jose Mourinho meeting Manchester City Pep Guardiola. So, about Jose Mourinho, you can beat him in the first game, sometimes can beat him in the league matches. You can beat him in the semi-finals and the quarter-finals. But if he manages to reach the final, I think you should go to sleep and forget about it. This is my message to Man City and Pep Guardiola. I know I have respect for Guardiola, but you should just forget and concentrate on maybe winning the league or maybe finishing first 4. So forget about that cup. Anything cup final is very difficult. If you can remember, Mourinho sent Lukaku packing on loan when he missed the penalty against Atletico Madrid. I think he won UEFA Cup, I don't know. So he's very serious with finance. So I give it to Tottenham. Okay. Tottenham fans should start celebrating. They are going to win the silverware after a long time with Jose Antonio Mourinho.
Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Barry.
Good evening, welcome.
It's me, Martin. I want to make a request. People complaining about Frank Lampard, that Frank Lampard isn't a good coach, or like Mesoja isn't a good coach. I just wanted to understand something. Frank Lampard playing Mason Mount. Mason Mount is one of the best players in Chelsea right now. If you look at the way the guy plays the ball around, he's one of the best players in Chelsea. That's why Frank Lampard keeps playing him. So I wonder people complain that Frank Lampard is favoring the English, is favoring Mason Mount, is benching Kai Havertz and the rest of them. We should check how Mason Mount plays his feet, but that's why Frank Lampard has entrusted some of his speed antis to that young man every day. So people should just
you know, sometimes when you overuse a player, it doesn't matter how good the player is. He's going to get tired and maybe not give his best. So maybe that's what you should also consider. That they are telling Frank Lampard that, yeah, this guy is good, we know, but why are you playing him every time? Even matches that he's not performing excellently, the next match he still starts. So that's maybe why people are complaining.
I agree with you, Sha. I agree with you.
All right, thank you.
But I just want to appreciate your good work. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, you're on to Sports Fiesta. Your name and your location.
Yeah, that is, yes, Oyinye, the 78-year-old man.
78-year-old man.
Okay, welcome, sir.
Yeah, well done. How today?
Fine, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about Ali and Tyson.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, quickly.
Yes. As far as Ali and Tyson is concerned, making comparison, it will depend on the age of the individual who is making the comparison. And looking at the time, in the two of them were on the same. In the time of Ali, we were steadily fighting in the ring. There was a fight that was societal because of the blacks in United America, which is quite different from what it is during Mike Tyson. So, like Tyson said, nobody can beat Ali. Ali is a born fighter. That even when he's down, he doesn't give up. Credit to him. And his soul rests in peace. Have a good day.
Thank you. All right, sir. Let's take this and look at the SMS. I know we've got so many. Hello. Hello, we picked a call. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Try and call us again before we leave. Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Mikey. I'm calling from Harbour Park.
Okay, Michael, go ahead. 1 minute.
Yeah, Manchester United fan.
Okay, go.
First caller.
Wow, first caller on the show. Let's welcome you officially.
Thank you. I want to know whether about the Cavani match ban, whether have they released him about the match ban or he
will serve the match ban. I think he has served the second one, the remaining one. Yeah, he was given 3 match ban.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Maybe what is trying to find out is after the European Football Union, they appealed that they didn't appeal. Basically, they were telling the that they didn't know what they were doing. Well, the FA has responded. They said they know that he did not intend it, but that does not justify it. And what they gave him was the lightest punishment. So that was the least punishment that they could give him, which is the 3 match ban and the £100,000. So they are not rescinding that. He's going to serve the 3 matches and he will pay the fine.
Okay, let me take this while we look at messages. Okay. Hello.
Hello,
good evening, my brother. Quickly, your name and your
Brian, good evening.
Danjuma. Wow.
I'm from Auchi.
Good to have you.
So it's just unfortunately our African state of football administration, they never ready. Because if you tell me this great Africa with many talents today, you can imagine say waiting other Europe or America continent, you never feed in your one. If not the corruption will be in system, they no go want me to do wetin to make Africa great in terms of football administration. So if corruption come up for this, I think Africa will be the best for the whole world and do well.
All right, thank you, Danjuma. Let's look at the messages.
All right, this one says, good day, sportsmen. The problem of Nigerian football is Ahmad Pinnick and NFF because they are after themselves, not the growth of Nigerian football, because they are owing all the national team from Wilfred Apasabamba. Who told you that they are owing all of the national teams? Please, I think we should only say things that we know to be true. Good day. God bless you for your wonderful sports program. So, Guy Brian, what's happening to the current NFF? Why can't they leave the office if they cannot handle the affairs of football in Nigeria? I'm not happy at all. David Opa Kenwa. Okay. Someone says, men of sports, good evening. What is the latest happening in WWE? Jackson from Airport Road. Hi. That question is too broad. Now, how am I going to answer that? There's so many things happening in WWE, so you've got to be specific and ask, okay, maybe who's the champion or what's happening here. That's when we can answer that. That Mike Tyson interview is sweet me. Oh, please, can I request it being played tomorrow? Biko, thank you. Good evening to you all. Michael Extreme, no problem. We'll play it whenever you want. We'll be playing it. We have it. There's even another one, but this time it's Mohamed Ali himself talking about these are just his pre-match trash talking. So we'll have all those and we'll give them to you. Okay, I think those are the messages that we have.
All right, you can still hit us up. Let's see if we can get 2 or 3 calls before we take a leave this evening. And the numbers are still 07062639275 and 09039394427. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Kingsley calling from Sapler Road.
Kingsley from Sapler.
First-time caller.
A first-time caller. Let's welcome you officially. So welcome to the family. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a Chelsea fan. Now, please want to confirm, how did the Samson Sasia at case end up for him?
They've
not concluded that case. Still on it.
Appealed, but they've not concluded.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, the NPFL is just for the weekend. Remember that I've given the rest in the morning, but this one will be played on Sunday, March day 3, the Nigeria Professional Football League. Katsina United will face Adamawa United. Nasarawa United will be home to Kano Pillars. Plateau United will face Atlanta FC. Eyimba International will trade tackles with Wiki Torres. Rivers United will entertain Kwara United. Aqua United will face Abia Warriors. Jigawa Golden Stars versus Rangers International. SC Ifeanyiwa will entertain Dakada FC. MFM FC will be home to Sunshine Stars, while Lobby Stars will do battle with Warriors. These are what to expect this weekend in the March 3 of the Nigeria Professional Football League. We'll take this last call and we'll say goodbye. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
This is Bapanel from Igba Junction.
Governor.
Bapanel from Igba Junction.
Bapanel, we greet you. Go ahead.
Okay. It's about, I want to comment about Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. Personally, I just feel that Mike Tyson
that was really not okay. Well, tomorrow we'll be having 3 hours of football show, and you guys will have the chance to ask your questions, the request for your anthems, and also enjoy our 3-hour show tomorrow. Don't worry, we are going to be here, so just get ready for all your contributions. Many thanks to you guys for being part of the show, and for those that called in, and also those that sent their messages, we say many thanks to you all. And for my strike partner, Salih Ibrahim, we say thank you for doing this with me. My name is Ewusa Egbeka, the Sports Maestro. And up next is a news break. But tomorrow, 3:30, we'll be here and we'll give you all you want to know as far as sports is concerned this weekend. All right, we sign out.